of the worldwide interwebs.
Wow.
Time to jump into the pod. Hello and welcome to Paradise. You are listening to Green Dudes, the only Green Day podcast that matters. You're here with me. I'm your host, Connor Mack, here as always with my BFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFF for life. I feel like I'm fucking forgetting 5 of these today.
Sorry.
My
Your business partner?
I know. Hold
Colleague in
on.
business? Okay.
Hold on.
Just trying to help you out.
My I don't know why I just want to say my brother from another mother.
You could say it. Sorry.
But that's not a forever thing. That's just today. And most recently, most importantly, my partner in business. It's like we've been friends for over 20 years. But like, what's the most important thing about our relationship? Easily the business aspect of it, right? It's like we can't let our friendship get in the way of business.
No, this is a mutually lucrative partnership for us.
Yeah.
You think that the fucking Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie, they were like, oh yeah, let's hang out and play, I don't know, checkers or whatever. They were men of business.
They were, yeah.
So,
yeah, and those are really our idols. Those are the two men that we look up to.
Yeah. Yep. More so than most others.
Yeah.
Even including the boys of Green Day.
Well, that is true to a certain extent, but one of the boys of Green Day, actually, well, I guess all three of them, but in this case, Billy Joe, he's a man of industry as well. He's right there with us. We're standing side by side, in this business venture, and so that's what makes it even more special.
That is true. Although you're right to an extent, all three of them, Punk Bunny Coffee, they really hopped on the business train, as they say.
I mean, and even historically, Mike has had his restaurant, Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
They've all had a few different business ventures throughout the years.
They're diversifying their portfolio.
They're diversifying their portfolio, absolutely, as any good punk rocker should.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, how's it going today? We are recording early.
Yeah, we're recording early, but because we're a little late, it's like it.
Yeah.
We're a little late, and it loops back around. Now we're early.
We're a day late and a dollar short.
That's right.
That's how we are right now.
And we are writing the report right here, right now, live on the podcast.
Live on the podcast.
That's what he says, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be a misheard lyric from me, but I always thought that's what he said.
What are you referencing?
I'm talking about that Blink-182. So a day late, a buck short. I'm writing.
Yes.
The report. Oh
yeah.
Right.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm moving. Failing when I move. Oh, I'm flying.
Pretty much one of the most famous Blink-182 songs.
Yeah, it's a very popular song.
Couldn't think of what it was called.
Well, I didn't even pick up on it at first, so that's
fine.
Okay.
You're groggy. You're a groggy boy.
I just woke up about half an hour ago.
Yeah, and you're not doing too hot.
No, I was telling you, I wake up in a lot of pain every day now.
Yeah,
and I don't. I think part of it is like the overnight shift is tough on your body, but also I am just old. And I felt like I was old for like a decade now, at least, and
right. Or more, yeah,
or more. Honestly, I was an old young man at a certain point, and now I'm an old man, and my body just sometimes I go through periods of time where it just fucking hurts,
Yeah.
Like if I sleep on my if I position my neck the wrong way,
yeah,
fucking all bets are off for like 2 weeks now. Like it's not.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's funny. The funniest way I've ever like hurt myself or pulled something in my neck, I was brushing my teeth and I guess I like brushed my teeth too hard and and I swear I like strained this like muscle on the side of my neck somehow
Oh my god.
and and it hurt to like turn my head to the side. I was like driving, to work just after, and I'm like checking my blind spot while I'm merging, and like it fucking hurt to turn my head
Oh
because I
god.
brushed my teeth so fucking bad, and then
That's
that's how I knew I was fucking old. Yeah,
yeah, that's rough. I mean, yeah, that stuff happens to me more often than I would like to admit. Um, Connor, you're on vacation now.
yeah, it's all I ever wanted.
Yeah, you're living that sweet life. How are things going for you?
It's going pretty good. Um, I don't. It is great to not have to work. Full stop.
Yeah.
And it's probably the single greatest perk of being a teacher. Um, I guess also you like help kids and
Yeah,
cultivate the people of the future.
it's
But
like fulfilling in other ways. Like you really make an impact on other people's lives, but like
yeah, right.
really, like what does that matter to you at the end of the day?
It's
You
it's
know?
it's the 2 months off at the end. That's why
Yeah.
people do it, right?
Come on.
So yeah, that's all good. The thing is like I'm not always very. I'm not like good at structuring my time, you know.
Mm.
And so, when I was younger, when I was an old young man or whatever, like
Yeah.
that didn't matter because it's like whatever. I'll just hang out, play video games all day. Now I feel like crushing guilt if I play
Mm.
video games for any more than like 2.5 to 3 hours. Suddenly I'm like, I
Yeah.
need to. I stop and I'm like, I gotta like do something productive. But then
Yeah. Yeah.
then it's like this fork in the road between like is he actually going to do something productive or is he just going to like languish and bounce around between like half-heartedly trying to start some, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
sometimes I waste so much of my time thinking I should be like doing something that I could have just been playing video games the whole time anyways, and the same amount of like productivity would have occurred. And I'm like, fuck, like why didn't I do the dishes? Why did I just look at my fucking phone? Like it's so stupid.
Yeah, that's the worst thing is like even if you are like playing video games, I feel like is in a way it feels like it's better than just looking at your phone for 3 hours, like
I think
because
definitely, yeah.
yeah, like I I feel the same way when I'm like I I really really struggle with like executive function and getting myself started and stuff. Um and so I will fall into these periods of where like I stop when I'm like I stop browsing the internet,
Hmm.
which is like my video games, or I guess I don't know, and and I'm like, okay, I got to do something productive, but then I just end up on my phone
Yeah.
for
Yes.
an for who knows how long, and then it's like, well, I like that's not bad. I'm not doing anything better. I'm
Right.
just stalled.
Yeah. No, I, I
Uh,
I fall into that same hole. So it's like every day on summer vacation, it feels like a coin toss. It's like, is this the day where I accomplish something, or is this the day
yeah,
where I just pretend to and fucking waste both the opportunity to actually do something and the opportunity to just like fucking chill out and do the thing that I tell myself I want to do anyways.
I
It's
know.
stupid. It's a stupid. It's guilt. I think ultimately,
Yeah, I what's wrong with us?
I don't know, man. But it's fine. In short, again, I don't really have any complaints. That's such a stupid complaint. I'm not even really complaining. It's just laying it all out there. But that's
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I am. I'm doing good, man.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're living your as best of a life as you can,
Yeah.
under the circumstances. Um I just want to just quickly talk about something that that I've been obsessing over the last day or two. Well, the last day specifically.
Sure.
Uh, Connor, I fucking fallen down the MCR rabbit hole again.
Ooh, because of the whole Black Parade is back uh
Yeah.
tour thing.
So
What's happening?
MCR, they're doing a Black Parade tour. It's starting. Actually, it's starting tomorrow in Seattle. Um, which is cool. I'm trying to go to one of the shows. I want to go to the one in Philly at the that stadium we've been to twice now. What is that called?
Yeah,
Is that
it's the Citizens Bank Stadium,
Citizens
I
Bank?
think.
Yeah. Because Alice Cooper is opening for them at that show,
Yeah, that's cool.
which would be pretty fucking cool. That'd
Yeah.
be fun. And you would probably get a kick out of that because he's gonna sing "School's Out for the Summer," right?
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Um, but anyways, uh they've been like posting stuff, and they posted something yesterday, and everyone's convinced that that means they're going to put out new music tomorrow.
Mm.
And there's like
People are always convinced about that.
they are, and I am such a sap that every time it grabs me, and I can't say I'm 100% convinced every time, but I live in hope. I always live in hope.
Yeah.
And
It's like that X-Files thing, I want to believe.
I
Like,
want to believe, yes. I'm David Duchovny.
yes, exactly.
Uh, and so that's the position that I'm in right now. Um, I never stopped believing. I don't know. And there's different people on the internet saying, "Oh, I heard from this guy who works at this place that they're gonna put out an album in October. That they're gonna drop a single the day of the tour, and then they're gonna put out an album later." And it's just hard to temper expectations, and uh, it just never ends. You would think at a certain point I'd be like, all right, I've been through this. I've been through
Yeah.
this run around before, multiple times, more times than you know.
Mhm.
But no, every time I'm just sucked in. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. This is gonna happen. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be cool. Obviously, like it'd be really cool. We've been waiting on new MCR music since they got back together, and it really seemed like it was going in that direction with the whole like they had like that whole like Wicca kind of like you
Yeah,
know for their reunion, like all that imagery and stuff, and it was like, oh, it must be new music, and then it was they're back, they're touring. I guess I'd be surprised. It's like MCR, any band can do whatever they want, and it's not like it would be insane for them to drop a new single on the same day as the tour starts. It just feels like typically you would do that ahead of the tour. Like in my mind, my initial reaction to this rumor here is like, wouldn't it be kind of weird for those things to happen simultaneously? Because like typically you would release it first ahead of the tour, and then you start the tour. You know?
that would be the typical way to do things. The only thing that's different here is MCR is they are off the leash, and I want to clarify, they have put out new music since they've been back together. They put out the Foundations of Decay in
Oh, thank
2022,
you, thank you. That's
and
right.
they put that out literally a few hours before they took the stage the first night of that tour.
Oh, okay.
So there is precedent
Oh,
here.
okay. So I
There is
see where this
precedent
is
here.
coming from. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all
Um,
right.
they can do whatever the fuck they want. They're not bound to rhyme or reason or best practices here.
Yeah, or even the
Um,
laws of reality.
or even the laws of reality, precisely. Um, it's just so. I mean, and in my heart of hearts, I have come to the point where I'm like, I've gotten more than enough from them, more than I ever thought I would after they got back together. I didn't know that was ever going to happen. So it's all gravy at this point. But
Yeah.
it's hard not to revert to my 13-year-old self.
Right.
You know,
That old young man still inside you.
the old young man. Yeah, exactly. Um, so we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated if you even care at all. I'm sure we got some. I'm sure some of our listeners are MCR fans
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's always been Green Day My Camp crossover.
Yeah,
I mean, black shirt, red tie, that exploded at the same time for them.
that did. Yeah, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? You know.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Um, and in Green Day news, Connor, you got any Green Day updates for us?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that there was like this whole small petty kind of like backlash. I sent you all these pictures I saw of
Oh yeah,
Billy pulled someone up to play Good Riddance, and then they started playing Wonderwall. And then
yeah.
I saw people on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, I got no respect for someone who can't take a good joke. What was Billy thinking? You know, let the kid play Wonderwall." They were. I could read you some of these comments. They are so fucking stupid. This one guy says, "What a childish loser! Should have went with it and sang Wonderwall. Too much of a little bitch to take a joke." That's what this guy says. That's what this guy says about Billy Joe telling this kid to like, no, 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 we're not doing Wonderwall. And it sounds like, by all accounts, like, you know, I didn't even watch the fucking clip, to be honest. But I saw other people being like, you know, Billy wasn't an ass about it. He's just not calling anyone up to play
yeah.
Wonderwall. So I just thought it was funny. That's all.
Connor, do you want to watch the clip now?
Sure. Can you pull
I've
it
got to
up
pull it
on
up.
the thing? Yeah,
I
let's
already
do
have
it.
it ready to go.
Wow, look at you. You're a
Yeah.
consummate professional. My partner.
Because yeah, this little backlash was very fun. I mean, it's always like dumb, but this is really dumb. Here we go. This is the video. I'm gonna refresh it so it starts from the beginning. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
All right, here we go. He said, "Nice try, nice try."
Yeah, yeah.
So there's nothing too offensive or bad in that video, but it did cut off. There's a different angle that I've seen that the kid starts playing Good Riddance at first and is like going really slow, and then at a certain point he just like doesn't know how to play it anymore or forgets how to.
Yeah.
I don't know, and stops, and then that's when we get there and Billy's like, I thought you knew how to play this song.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he goes into Wonderwall.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, I don't, was this an intentional troll job, you think?
You know, it's hard to say. Obviously, it's just as likely that the kid just you know, kind of got stage fright. And
Yeah.
maybe the only thing they could remember how to play was Wonderwall.
That's like his like default, like he's just like
yeah, it's just like muscle memory.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Because he's the guy who goes to every like college party and plays
Right.
Wonderwall.
Yeah, that's the kid who. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those like I don't. It feels like however you look at this moment, it's like so inoffensive. I think from like both parties that to have any kind of like backlash to it is insane to me. It's like I kind of get some people being like, "Oh, wouldn't it have been funny if Billy just let him play?" Like, and it's like, yeah, maybe, but you know, it's like you can't just really pull people up and have them do karaoke of a totally different song. You know, like it's a weird precedent. I don't know. You know, people kind of took it as a moment, especially like the bad faith MAGA crowd who's always trying to take pot shots at Green Day every now and then. You know, it feels like this is just another opportunity for them to be like, oh, they're fake punks. You know, they they can't even slightly deviate from their set list because everything is so corporatized, and and it's like it's just not it's just not that big of a deal.
No.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. And I mean also like this is the end of the show. This is the very last song. It's an important moment, and they're playing festivals right now. This is not their own show. Like they have a tighter schedule to adhere to. Like I don't think that there was room to do an impromptu Wonderwall there in
Yeah,
that moment.
that's all
Um,
true. That's all true. Yeah.
and I mean, Billy was, he's just being silly. He said, "Nice try." He wasn't. It was just a funny moment. I think that people kind of obviously uh, took and ran with
Yeah.
for their own purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the only big exciting thing that happened in Green Day. Uh,
Oh well, they played "I Was There."
I was
They
gonna
all
mention that too. That
they
is
also
pretty
threw
big.
that
Yeah.
out there. That was cool.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. They played "I Was There," which is huge, and they put a cool little video up, talking about how oh yeah, it's been a long time. Like Trey's like, oh, I don't even know if I've ever played this before. Guess what? He has
Yeah.
actually a few times,
Yeah.
and I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he's got a
so
bad memory, just like me. I'm glad he
yeah,
doesn't remember that shit.
yeah. But no, that's rad. They're pulling out some cool deep cuts, and that's it's exciting. We I mean we know they're capable of that. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's so
Yeah.
I
We
mean good
we
on the people that are lucky enough to see that live.
we
Um,
got at least one thing off our bingo card, no matter what else happens. Crazy rarity at festival set.
yeah,
That it's been covered.
yeah,
So
absolutely. We should revisit the bingo card soon and see where we're at, because I think there's more of it that's taken up than we might think. Um, Connor, today on the program, we were talking about Babs Uvula Who. Um, this is what the fuck?
yeah, all right there, buddy.
Yeah, it's just like the Green Day wikis for this song. It just says there's no text in this page. They don't have a wiki page for Babs Uvula Who on two of these. There's like three Green Day wikis, and two of them don't have anything for Babs Uvula Who.
Yeah. Well, can't
Fucked up.
be a very reputable wiki if
No.
they don't have fucking Babs Uvula Who on there.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But anyways, this is the sixth track on Insomniac. Um, Connor, Babs Uvula Who. What do you think of this name? The name of this song?
Yeah, it's been a head scratcher. Um, it's weird because there's an apostrophe there, like Babs. You know, this is Babs's uvula. It's not
Yeah,
just like, oh, first name, middle name, last name, Babs Uvula Who. It's like, no. This uvula belongs to Babs. I don't know. I've never had any fucking clue what was up with the title of this song. I never cared because it's just like one of those, it's like Paper Lanterns or it's like it's just one of those titles that it's like, okay, so it doesn't obviously connect with anything else in the song. It's like I've just always accepted that because Green Day
yeah.
does that. It's a weird, cool fucking song name. But I have no idea if there's anything behind it or not.
Well, Connor, I've got something to show you.
Is it a uvula?
It might be a uvula. I think this might illuminate some of those questions for you. Um, what the fuck? All right, there we go. There we go. This is going to this is gonna make it all make sense. You're gonna be like, how did I not know this?
Is this really taking this much time? I can cough again if you need me to.
Nope, no coughing necessary. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Reminds me of a little joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Babs is Uvula.
Babs is Uvula who?
I don't know, Babs, but I do know this. You really let your Uvula go to the door.
There we go. There's the origin.
Yeah.
It's from an SNL skit.
That is funny. I guess it makes me realize I have been saying the title wrong my whole life because I've always said Babs Uvula, not. Well, it is Babs, but they're saying
Babs. It's yeah.
They're saying Babs is. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, the title I wouldn't call the song Babs is Uvula Who. No, I just think it's a reference to the SNL sketch where they say Babs is Uvula.
This is kind of like an Armitage sort of tweak, you know. It's
exactly, like, yeah. Which is like you're like it's not something I think Billy did to protect from copyright or trademark infringement. I think it's just maybe he forgot how to what the actual phrase was in both cases, or the spelling.
It is a better song title though, Babs Uvula. Imagine if this was Babs's Uvula Who, like that.
Yeah, that's too much. That doesn't flow.
No,
that doesn't it doesn't sparkle in the same way.
No, it does not roll off the uvula.
It does. No. Very good. Connor, going back to when you were, that old young man, when you were first introduced to this song, do you have any memories with it? Any historic feelings? Any thoughts about how you initially perceived it?
Yeah, this is a funny song, I think, because like as a song, like by itself, I definitely felt like this was one of the weaker songs on Insomniac. When I was a kid, I kind of felt like I sort of lumped this and like Brat together in a way where it's kind of like I don't know. It's just like some song about an asshole. And I don't know. I didn't really it didn't click with me. Like I didn't like the song that much. Not that I disliked it. I wouldn't say that there was a song I disliked off of Insomniac, but this was definitely a song that I just didn't care about as much. And I always kind of feel like, I don't know. I always kind of feel like once it's done, it's like then it's kind of like you're cleared, for the rest of the record. I don't got any other hangups. But when you're talking about like memories and stuff, like this song always makes me think about you and I being younger, and we had a friend who was kind of like prone to getting angry, and this was a song that it was almost like an outlet for us, or like we kind of thought it was funny to listen to this song and think about how we can get a reaction out of our friend and stuff, and this song was kind of like tied to that. Like I remember us being little twerp assholes ourselves, and talking about that when we were listening to this song, so even though I didn't care about the song that much on its own, it is a track that really stands out for me because I do have like really clear memories of us listening to it for that reason, like when we were kids, like us being in your garage and like sitting on those little those steps, and just like you know, like a hot summer night where you're like trying to cool off in the garage, but like you could still feel like, you know, the nighttime humidity like seep in. Like that's what the song makes me think of. I'm wondering if you remember any of that too.
No, yeah, I mean, that of course that is exactly what comes to mind when I think of this song. I mean, both of those things really. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Like, you know, you're like, you think of the song, oh, this is about just some guy who is, yeah, prone to losing his shit or whatever, and yeah, you can point to people in your life and be like, oh, they're so wound up or whatever, and you know, and as young kids, it was funny to kind of point to that, and uh, I don't know. It was a fun dumb reference point for us when we were just kind of, like you said, dumb twerps who just kind of fucked around with people.
Yeah. It's not like we were right. Like we were
No,
assholes, you know?
we
Like,
were absolutely.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the thing. When I'll get into how, like, how my perception of the song has changed over the years. Like, yeah, we were not right. And I guess I'll just say, like, as I age, more and more, I'm like, this song is like about me. You know, it's like not about somebody else. Like, this is actually, uh, this is part of me. Um, in the same way where I feel like this probably is just a uh, semi autobiographical song about Billy. You know, I mean, um, for me, like, less so the like rage and temper fly, but more like just unbearable amounts of stress, just like just coursing through your veins at all times. I've been there, you know. So, um, how about for you, Connor? Now, as you know, an older gentleman, how has the song changed for you over the years?
Um, you know, I it's still a song that I guess I feel like I have some distance with. Like I can't say like, oh yeah, I got this whole new appreciation for it. I really do think that this song is just all right. There there is stuff that I like about it, and like revisiting it and thinking about it a little more you know, intently, I guess. Um I there's aspects about it that I like more. Um but you know, I think it has more to do with like appreciating the performance of like each of the members, and like that doesn't always do as much for me. I feel like a lot of times, like if I reassess a song and I feel like I like uncover something different about it, like in its like lyrical content or its message, or you know, like its theme, whatever it is, like that that goes such a greater distance for me in being like, you know, whoa, dude, I never fucking gave this song a chance, you know. But uh we'll see where our conversation takes us, but I didn't really, you know, get any big change in my perception of the song. And so mostly I'm like, yeah, you know, there's some stuff about it that I feel like I haven't like appreciated in terms of like the playing and the composition of it maybe, but it just doesn't do a whole lot for me, because you know, at the end of the day I'm like, I think this song's still just all right. It's kind of bottom of the barrel Insomniac for me, which does not mean it's bad, but
No, there's
yeah,
a very high ceiling. I mean, I'm sorry, a
yeah,
high floor, a high
yeah.
floor. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the floor is high up, right?
So is the ceiling, to be fair. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like definitely not a standout Insomniac song. just because the quality is so good all around. But at the same time, it's another one of those songs where I think I pointed to a few already that like could only exist on Insomniac. Like
Yeah.
we kind of talked about how No Pride. We're like, well, it could be on Nimrod, maybe,
Yeah.
But this song, no way. Like even songs on Nimrod, like Take Back or Reject or whatever, they don't have the wiriness that Insomniac does, or there's like a an edge that it's only apparent on Insomniac, and it never really shows up again in the same way. So this is one of those songs I think that could really only be on this record, and I think the song makes the record better. I like this song a lot. I think it's a unique one in their catalog. And I don't know. I mean, it's not a highlight, but I think the record would be worse off
Yeah.
if it wasn't on the track list.
I agree. That is kind of like one of the things that I feel like I give it is that I I think I think it's very much a song that they have as part of the Insomniac track list because they talking about Billy, Mike, Trey, Rob Cavallo, like they all think about the record as an experience unto itself,
Yeah.
and they're not they put a lot of thought into the track list and the album flow, and so I do think that Babs Uvula Who is good where it is on the record. Like it'd be weird if we went from No Pride to 86, right? Like
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I like about Babs Uvula Who, like that whole like abrupt ending and Billy's like sure, and the
Yeah.
like the way that ends and sets you up for the next song. It's like and the way that this song has such like this tense momentum to it. It's like you're set up perfectly to get into 86. So yeah, I would not take it off of the record, but it's like, yeah, as a standalone track, I've always just been kind of lukewarm on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair. Diving into these performances a little bit here. I don't know. It's just kind of a pretty much the band. They start together. They just go into right.
Well, yeah, but maybe we should start with the guitar because you do get those descending that bam
Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, we'll start with the guitar. Um, Again, and I'm gonna stop. I'm going to stop apologizing for repeating myself because
Okay.
that is just me repeating myself even more.
You're repeating
The
yourself even
apologies.
more by doing that. I know.
Yes. But I can't imagine this song without the Insomniac guitar tone. It wouldn't exist. It just wouldn't fucking exist. Connor, what are your thoughts on the guitar here? I think it really does lead the pack here on this song. This is a kind of like a stompy-ish power chord song.
Yeah. I like the way it start. I feel like those first three like descending power chords at the very beginning really sets the tone for this song. Like it does feel angry. And then it's like then the song proper kind of kicks in and you get what pretty much the whole song is built around. And so you get a lot of like that start stop guitar, and then it's like I it is one of those like simple tricks that I think works really well because in the verses that that like abrupt start stop with the guitar there, it's like it does feel like this mounting sort of pressure, and then of course like in the chorus, the whole thing is kind of set loose, and Billy's just going for it. You know, it feels like you're kind of pummeled with guitar before it goes back into that start stop kind of feeling, and I feel like that really does sort of like mirror the idea of like the explosive anger in this song, like trying to bottle it up and, you know, not only not being able to, but like that kind of makes it worse because, you know, then it's like it's set loose just because of like this building pressure, you know. And then the chorus is representative of that, of kind of like that explosion of anger. And I think Billy's playing, even though it's pretty straightforward, I think it really gets that idea across of what the song.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's a great point. It does really. It's a really great example of the instrumentation really bolstering up and accentuating the lyrical themes here. And I think that's a cool aspect of Insomniac, and it kind of all like again, that's a way that this song, even though it's not like in my top 50 Green Day songs or whatever, it's
that list is incoming one day.
I mean I guess so. We're gonna have to do. I mean I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could even make that list. What do you think? Could you do that?
I think I could do it, but it always has to come with the qualifier of like this this is changing day by day.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly,
It's fun.
Yeah. But it's like things like that really add like a a nice touch to Insomniac as a whole. Like this song being on the record really, I feel like it elevates like Panic Song.
Yeah.
When we get there, you know, it's like I can see this character being the same character from Geek Stink Breath, and you know, even Billy going up to Walking Contradiction. It's like it feels like it is all part of a piece. And so I really do appreciate that. You kind of go from the nihilism to the degeneracy to the anger issues to panic attacks. It's just like a portrait of an unwell young man, really.
Yeah.
And the guitar does help to illustrate that. Yeah, I think the guitar sounds really good. I think it's another one of like, it's funny because it's like surprising but not surprising that it's a very simple guitar part. But it's like not, again, it's like not typical Billy fare here. It's not our favorite you know, it's a bit different, and you can always appreciate that. It's I don't know, that's one of the cool things about Insomniac too, is that it's like it maintains its simplicity, but it's like a little bit off of the beaten path.
Yeah. I was thinking about how this riff is a little different, like you're saying, and I was like, you know, this is almost kind of like a cranked up brain stew, a little bit with, you know, obviously, Dan it, you know, like if you just if fucking Mr. Cavallo there was just turning those knobs, he's a knob turner, as we've said. He might have just had that brain stew riff and then just turn that knob, sped that baby up.
Yeah, it's like what about this but faster?
Yeah, and you would sort of get Babs ukulele.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I feel like he was probably messing around with some shit like that.
Yeah, hey, I wouldn't doubt it. But then he's like playing it for Billy, and Billy's like, why does the guitar sound like a chipmunk, all sped up? This is Alvin.
Yeah,
Alvin playing the guitar.
chipmunk version.
I mean, I guarantee that's on YouTube. Babs Uvula Who chipmunk version.
Of course, every every Green Day song has probably been chipmunkified.
Yeah.
There should be a separate Green Day wiki. I want to see the Babs Uvula Who Chipmunk version wiki entry.
Yeah. There's a Green Day Chipmunk wiki.
Yeah.
And it actually, it actually has information on Babs Uvula. Connor, next up, I think we got to talk about the drums.
Let's do it. Let's talk about those drums, buddy.
The mighty drumstones. Yeah, thank you for helping me there.
I know you're still waking up. It's all right.
I'm still waking up. I'm just a sleepy little baby.
Where's your Punk Bunny coffee?
I know. I haven't had coffee yet because I think if I jump into drinking coffee like right when I wake up and I'm gonna have to be on and talking to you and doing like I think that'll drain, like I think that drains me. I think I have to have some time actually to I think that's too much for my system right away when I wake up.
It'll like mellow you out too much. You'll be like, because you like to be very like contemplative and zen when you're drinking coffee. You're a very zen coffee drinker.
Very much so. It's like a psychological thing. So I'm gonna have my first cup after we wrap the episode up. Which is crazy, but you know.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I know.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Anyways, kind of this drum performance here. Again, I would say the mighty drum tones.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah, it's that's what we got. What are your thoughts on Trey's performance here?
I think it's good. I think this is like a very solid Trey performance. I really love that kick drum. Yeah. You know, that kind of keeps like the beating heart of the song alive while everything falls apart. Like once they're wrapping up that chorus and Billy just hangs on that last snarl sounds, and it feels like the whole song could kind of fall apart and end. It's like, Trey's holding it down with the kick drum there, and it just sounds so good. And it is kind of like that like rising blood pressure, it's like that's the fucking arteries like pumping like mad, and he has that going all song. And I felt like even though Trey's playing here is kind of simple too, it's like I felt like the parts that he's playing, like for the verse and for the chorus, and like, they feel very distinct. And I think he's also kind of amplifying what I was saying about Billy's playing. It's like trying to reflect the anger in his playing here. Like, but I like, in the verses, it's a lot more like controlled, and he's kind of like he's on his snare and his hi-hat, and things are kind of just going along. And then you get into the chorus, and sure enough, he's crashing on his cymbals, and he's making sure that like that anger like feels very explosive. And I just love how hard Trey plays on that last verse into that last chorus. It's like the song, it feels like it's kind of all built up to this moment, and the last verse, they're not doing the start stop playing anymore. It's like full steam ahead, and Trey's just really crushing it, and I think that he's really like pushing that, like that anger and that energy for that like last final like assault. Like I think this song wants to feel like it ends on like that barrage or that explosion of anger that can't be contained anymore. And I think that Trey's playing, especially at the very end, is like really really drives that home. So I liked his playing on here a lot.
Yeah, I think it's very powerful. And another one of those things where it's like, fuck, how would Kiffmeyer play this song?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that just pops into my head. It's been a few episodes since we brought up Kiffmeyer.
Yeah, it
Maybe
has been.
maybe since the beginning of the of this album that we've been talking about. But this is just, I mean, again, he's a very different drummer. I'm not saying this is a skill issue at all. It's just a power thing, you know. Um, I just can't. I can't imagine how that would sound.
Yeah, I think we would be getting tambourine in the verses.
Yeah, which would change the vibe entirely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's like I'm a mad hippie or something, you know.
No, you're right. Don't cut down that tree. That's when they like
Yeah.
to the tree.
Peace and love.
Yeah, this is a Trey song through and through, you know, and it could only ever be that way, you know. The Green Day of that time just was not set up to make something like this, you know, and that's just the way it is, you know. Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's I think that's right, and you don't you know, Trey's not sacrificing anything by not being showy. He's
right.
The power. I mean, yeah, it's all about the power for this song. It's all about that intensity. Trey has turned it up to 11, as he can do. Moving on, kind of to the bass guitar. How do we think Mr. Mike Dirnt has performed here?
I like this. I like Mike here too. I was thinking that I was like this. I feel like Mike's playing here. I'm kind of going to echo what we were saying about his playing on Geek Stink Breath, where this is like where Mike is kind of in the role of amplifying the guitar. Because for the verses, like Mike's pretty much just on the same, you know, ban it, you know, and so it feels like they're just kind of working together to make that feel heavier and harder. So that's cool. And then I like that in the chorus, you know, he's able to let loose, but like he doesn't get lost there. Like you could hear him. He has his own little kind of like flair there. He does this little like boom ba ba da ba da bum ba ba da ba da bum ba da 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 bum ba you know, like, and so like he has like a fun little, he has like his own fun little springy kind of riff in there, and then he's kind of just like, you know, going for it, and he has like a good sense of like, I don't know, speed, and so I think it's good. I think he does what he's doing, and I think he's making the song have a bit more oomph and impact, and he also gets to kind of have fun with it and play around in the chorus. But this definitely feels like more of a drum guitar kind of song. But yeah, but Mike's really holding it down.
Yeah, definitely. I think yeah, this is, you know, another one of those songs where, you know, Mike knows his role, but, you know, in difference to like Extinct Breath or even, you know, Brain Stew, where it is all just about supporting the guitar and stuff, and you know, here he does. You're right. He does. He has some time to shine and to do his own thing. So it's a cool, like a bit of a halfway point between those two different mic modes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think as Mike gets older and more experienced in playing bass, he does kind of opt to support that guitar more and more. And so this is kind of there's a preview of what we get on a lot of later period Green Day. But yeah, he's still doing dirty bits throughout the parts of the song, which is always welcome. Connor, any thoughts on any of these boys and their instrumentation before we move on to the lyrics and vocals?
You know, no, I think I said about everything I wanted to say in terms of that. I do kind of feel like structurally in terms of their playing, you know, they kind of all get a chance to like, you know, not individually necessarily, but like in the verses and stuff, it feels like you kind of get to hear sort of like the basics of the song, and then like again like the chorus, it opens up a bit more, and then I do just really like how it feels like everything comes together in the last verse, because they play the last verse like the chorus, but it's the verse going into the, and I just think that's like a cool trick. In my mind, it almost feels like some weird Megazord where they kind of like rearrange some of the different parts of what they were doing that like feels very simple, and they're like, well, what if we like recombine it like this, and then like the song ends in this like crazy weird last like 30 seconds where it doesn't even, if you're not thinking about it, it doesn't feel different at all. But one of the things that I was struck by, and that I was like really kind of alluding to before, where I was like, oh yeah, I think I dig their performances a bit more. I was like, man, like this last verse is kind of crazy, because they're not even just playing the verse anymore. They're playing like a weird new chorus verse together. And it's just like a neat, simple little thing that they do. But I think it's a pretty awesome way to end the song. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. I was also going to say, like, it does feel like, it does feel like, I forget what other song it was that you mentioned. Like, it feels like running into a wall or a brick wall or something. This
Oh,
is not
right.
that. This is not quite that, but it feels like you're like white knuckling driving somewhere to like confront somebody, or to like you're gonna barge in somewhere and be angry at somebody or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I get with when it's all kind of flowing in that last chorus, where it is just like you can no longer control this anger inside you. All right, Connor, you want to help me with this song?
Yes, I do. Let's do it.
All right, you start us off.
Just tell me the words
Words
I
I
might have
might have
known.
known.
The words
The
I
words
might
I
have
might have
known. The
known.
words
The
I
words
might
I
have
might have
known.
known. All right. So, Connor, Babs, Uvula, who? Any lyrics that you have misheard, or just been totally lost about?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. There kind of big chunks of this song. I mean, it's weird because this is one of those songs where like there's definitely some chunks of it where I was just like, oh yeah, I didn't know that line. But then also, um, you know, even though Billy does a lot of repeating on this song, he also like does tiny little tweaks. He doesn't like exactly repeat himself in a lot of places. So even like when he's singing the chorus, you know, he might change it from like, oh, panic attack and I'm all wound up, lost. You know, it's like it feels like he's, you know, things don't just like neatly repeat between the choruses where it's the same thing every time. And so like I never like figured out the order, you know, and so to this day I like if I sit there and listen to it, I can hear what Billy's saying. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I don't know what he's saying and I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" It's like I've just never like put in the dedication and the concentration, I guess, to like actually figure out when I should be singing. So a lot of times I would just sing the wrong lyric, even if it's right somewhere else in the song, if you know what I mean. That all being said, here's the shit I really, really didn't know. At the end of the first verse, Billy sings, petulance and irritation set in. I throw a tantrum and I get myself all wound up. I never knew that last part of the first verse. And then, oh yeah. And then end of the second verse, he sings, I slipped a gear and I get myself all wound up. Had no fucking clue about that. And yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of spotty stuff. But those are like the specific ones where I was like, never in my life have I realized that's what he was saying. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I do agree that for some reason this song is really easy to get like the verses mixed up. Like I almost always like sing the second half of the first verse during the second verse or something. It's like for some reason the it's like so it's like I don't know, sung fast and it is kind of wordy, so it's like I think it's easy to get mixed up here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a bunch of nuts.
It happens.
It does nuts happen. It's true. As far as like lyric mix-ups or missed lyrics here, I don't think I actually have any. It's just that the order has always like been elusive to me. But the other thing I wanted to mention, this is not a big thing, or it's not really. I don't even know if Billy realizes this, but I want to point out that in the chorus, loss of control and I'm all wound up. A little bit of an unintentional reference to the Future song
Trilogy,
"Loss of Control" off of Uno,
yes.
which is a kind of another song about I don't know, the kind of shitty, angry person, I guess.
Yeah.
Could be the same character, 20 years later. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Babs Uvula Who Legacy reboot.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's about Chevy Chase.
Yeah, I've never thought that, but I think it's a good shout, intentional or not. Either way, it's funny because obviously it's either a deliberate reference or a weird coincidence where he uses the exact turn of phrase again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. For what it's worth, I think "Loss of Control" is a way better song.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that's a hot take. I don't disagree with you really. I think I enjoy it more. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if we get some listener backlash.
We'll see.
Once we start talking about the trilogy, it's going to be all bets are off.
I know. But man, as soon as I
both
think
directions.
about "Loss of Control," I'm like, I just love the guitar in that so much.
It's fucking awesome. I know.
That main riff,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's rad as hell. It is. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I mean that song too has the line I'm hanging out all by myself. At least I'm in good company. That's a great Billy line. Anyways, enough of the future. We'll get there eventually. Now diving into lyrics, kind of I mentioned this wordy. It's I think lyrically it's like it's on the level of other Insomniac songs. I think it's there's a high bar here lyrically as well. I think he really gets to the point of like I don't know when you really feel like you're gonna pop, like you're super stressed out and angry. I guess I don't know. Do you have any lines here you want to discuss?
Yeah, I mean a couple that I think I just want to shout out just because I like them a lot. I do. I mean, I agree with you that it's like all of this definitely paints a very vivid picture of, this character just on the verge of completely losing it, and then they do. So it's like I think there's a lot of good imagery, and I like the song never gets boring. You know, it's very tight. I just the reason I'm saying all that is like I don't know. In my mind, there's really not a lot to dig into though beyond that. I look at this song and I'm like, yeah, it's about someone who's really fucking pissed off, and that's kind of it. Let me know if you got another, a different perspective on the matter. It doesn't mean that that's a boring idea for a song either. It's like you could think about obviously, why is Billy even writing this song? It's like he has a lot of anger himself, of course. Like, I think it's interesting to consider Billy as a songwriter, like being compelled to write this specific song.
Well, we just saw it in action when he kicked that guy off the stage because he played Wonderwall.
That's right. Grab
the
guitar,
fuck off my stage, you piece of
smashed it
shit.
on stage.
Yeah.
Don't ever fucking play that fucking shit in front of me again.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know. That's kind of where, but there is some awesome lines here. I've always loved my favorite line of the song easily is "chip on a shoulder and a leech on my back." I love that fucking line.
Terrific line.
There's probably a couple others I could throw out there, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great line. I just like I like using the word petulance is really fun. Petulance and irritation set in. I think that's maybe how I learned what the word petulance meant.
Yeah.
When I first heard the song. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a creative one. Tension mounts and I fly off the wall. My fuse is short. My blood pressure is high. I mean, just all different illustrations of somebody. Yeah, that's just so wound up. They are going to snap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I love singing "Spontaneous Combustion Panic Attack."
Yes. Yeah.
I think
Great
the way
line.
he sings that. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
The
last one. Really the only other one that I want to mention that I do think is a little different from the rest is that first line. I've got a knack for fucking everything up. That line kind of makes me feel just a little sympathetic for the guy. It's like, because in my mind, I feel like that does a lot of heavy lifting. It's like, this guy isn't just pissed. It's like, it makes him sound like a "I think you should leave" character, where it's like he's in this completely normal situation, but like he's, he just like fucks up this one tiny little innocuous thing, and everybody would like forget about it if only they could just like let it go themselves.
Yeah.
But instead, they're just like immediately seething, and I do think that line, it does make me feel just a little sorry for this poor soul, because it's like, yeah, like they should have a more measured response to whatever the fuck is going on. But I think that they also, it's like, oh yeah, like I'm the perpetual fuck up. I'm the one who's always. I think that's part of the reason why they're so pissed. It's like they feel like they're in this cycle where they're the ones like doing it and they know it, and it's like this fucking like self-loathing kind of cycle that they're stuck in, and it turns into anger and to violence. Yeah.
Well, that's I said earlier like how this song has changed for me over the years, and I think that realization is really a big part of my changed perception of it. Just because I feel like I've been in those situations where I do feel like the perpetual fuck up, and growing older and I don't know, living life, there are times where you're just like I do feel like I've been in this position or I felt these things. I think the only disconnect for me is like I don't know, the the stress doesn't really turn to anger for me. It just like turns to like shutting down, you know. Uh, but yeah, I definitely do feel more sympathetic to this character than I did when I was younger, just because I don't think we had experienced that level of stress at that point yet. Which you know that's good. We were kids, um, but yeah, definitely. You know, I agree with that. It does change things a bit, or at least informs you of this character's trajectory.
Yeah.
Uh, any final thoughts on the lyrics, Connor, before we move on to our next segment?
No, but we should quickly talk about Billy's vocals here.
Oh shit! Thank you for reminding me. Yes. How do we feel about the vocals here?
This is a great snotty Billy song. This is
Yeah.
classic. You know, like the material in this song, and you know, gives him a lot of opportunity for these. Like really, you know, really just pissed off, devil may care kind of delivery. Like, you know, Billy really leans hard into, you know, not even like sounding angry, I think, but just like sounding kind of like a prick. Like, you know, I don't know.
Definitely.
And obviously the big shout out is like the end of that chorus. I love the way he holds on. It doesn't even sound like a word anymore when he's like hanging on that last all wound up, you know, before the song kicks back in. But it's like all over the place. Like just the way he sings blown out of proportion again. For some reason, and it's like all over this song. Pretty much every line delivery is there's a lot of attitude. That's what it feels like.
Yes.
This song has like a ton of like this angry swagger to it, and this kind of like almost like now it feels kind of corny, sort of like in your face attitude. Like that's what this song is, you know? And and Billy really knows that and really creates that feeling in his singing. It's a really good turnout for him.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it feels like an evolution from the snotty, apathetic character from Dookie, and even from the nihilistic devil may care kind of feeling you get in his vocals earlier on the record. But also, I feel like it's a kind of almost a bridge from like your snotty Dookie Billy to like the grouch Billy on Nimrod.
Yeah.
It's like I can see the trajectory there. So it's I think it's I mean, just like every part of this song is really supporting the central thesis, you know, like it all backs up this idea. And that's really awesome. That doesn't always happen, and it's really, I mean, that's what makes this song work, you know, like so yeah, kudos to them for kind of all being on the same page. They're all driving forces behind this song.
Yeah, no, they're in lockstep for sure. Agreed.
All right, I'll start off this next song. You can help me out.
Here we go.
Goes something like this. A warning, live without warning.
Have we heard this song? Have we heard this song?
All right, Connor. I know it's been a mixed bag for you so far this album.
Yeah,
with
my
your
batting average
your guesses.
is really poor.
Yeah. Babs Uvula Who, Connor, have we ever heard it live in concert?
You know what's crazy is like I feel like you've said even like on our Insomniac discussion already, because I think that like we've talked about other songs and I was like, oh, there's no way I've heard this, and then you were like, actually you have, and that night you also heard this and that, and now I'm like, did he say Babs Uvula Who? Did he say that because I don't know, man. I do not think I've heard this song. I don't think I've heard Babs Uvula Who. It's a weird song for them to pull out. I do not think I've heard it. I don't know about you. I don't think I've heard it. That's
All right. That's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right. Connor, you are correct.
All right.
You did it, buddy.
Okay.
You have never heard this song live. I have never heard this song live.
Yeah.
Neither of us have. Connor, according to Setlist FM, they've never played this live.
Oh, come on. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if they've never played it.
It's never been played.
Wow.
According to Setlist FM. Oh god, and then there's this Reddit post from 12 years ago, a list of all songs that have never been played live, and sure enough, Babs Uvula Who is on this list.
Wow. That's kind of a crazy I think that's the first song we're discussing that they've never, and I'm not counting, like the fucking Strange Land songs at the end of 39, Smoothed Out Slappy, but like in terms of like the album proper, I feel like this is the first song we're discussing where they have never played it.
I mean, according to this list, other songs that we've covered so far, they've only played Android once at a sound check, so they're including that. I mean, there's a video of them playing it at sound check, so I wouldn't count that. And then No One Knows and Strangeland. But other than that, all other songs have been played live apparently. That we've discussed so far.
Okay. Very interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a white whale here.
It is, yeah. I mean, could you imagine them just busting out Babs Uvula Who?
Dude.
At the fucking like Reading and Leeds.
I hope I'm there for it so I can forget that I ever saw it. Like just
and 5 years later you're like, oh shit, have I heard that song?
Yeah, the one time they ever fucking played. Wait a minute, was I there?
Yeah.
Was I there?
That's how it goes. But yeah, Green Day, this would be a fun song live. I think you guys could kill it live. With, I mean, I don't know. It would be. It's fun. It's a fun one. Pull it out. All right, kind of ready to hear it from the anti-social media.
We are.
All right, so this one, I don't know. There wasn't an extraordinary amount of fanfare about this song, but there's a decent amount of people who were interested in commenting. We're starting with Yep McYeppington from 6 years ago. Yep says, this is how it is like to feel angry.
Dude, this is how it is like to feel angry.
This is how it is like to feel angry.
You know what I have to say to that, Connor?
What?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Yep, McYeppington. Yep, you're right.
Yes,
you've summed it all up. Didn't even need to write the song. Billy could have just said that. This is how it is like to feel angry.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Eric, the Sabrina Carpenter fan from 10 months ago.
Okay.
Eric says, this song remind me of shopping carts.
Huh.
And they have a shopping cart emoji.
So that's 2 for 2. We got some bad grammar going on here, but it's you.
Yeah, I mean, in Eric's case, I don't know if he's an native English speaker, but because he's Eric, but he spells Eric with a Y, ERYK.
Yeah,
and a K.
So that is a crazy spelling right there. Wait, they said that this makes them think of shopping carts?
Shopping carts, yeah.
Okay. I guess I just wonder why. But
yeah, what's the lore behind that? Did Eric work at a supermarket, and his job was to round up those shopping carts, and he just fucked it all up and got really angry?
Maybe
he just like they all just like fell or something, like tipped over, and
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he was using that big machine, and maybe he like hit a car or something.
Maybe, but like from my experience, I worked at a job where I had to do that a couple times, and that was always like my favorite part of the day because it felt like I could get off the floor and I didn't have to talk to anyone, and I would just be like, oh yeah, I'm just going out to get the shopping carts, and it's like you kind of just get to take 10 minutes just being outside in the crisp winter air. Doesn't make me think about shopping carts, but yeah, maybe they had a different experience.
I mean, I've never done that. I could see myself being all fucking it all up and getting really anxious about it. But who knows? Eric, if you want to elaborate, please let us know.
You know what I will? You ever get a shopping cart where all 3 of the wheels are like perfect, but then you got one fucking wheel that's totally out of line, and it's like, oh no, we're turning left right now, buddy, and you're just trying to go straight? Like I do get pissed off at shopping carts when I got the one bad wheel.
That could be it. That really could be it, because honestly, there's a lot of talk about like failing infrastructure in this country, like bridges and roads and railways and stuff, things that need to be updated and fixed. I think the most important of all is like just shopping carts. I think we need to do a total upgrade. We need to fix all these shopping carts. It's maybe I've had bad luck, Connor, but like, I feel like going to the supermarket, if I'm going to grab a shopping cart, the chances that I get one of those shitty ones is probably like
it's pretty high, right?
It's pretty high. Like 1 out of 3 or something, maybe. Like it's bad. I don't know.
And shopping carts, they're one of those things where like their design has not changed since like like the 30s, or who even knows? Like the shopping carts we have today are effectively the same shopping carts they had, like 100 years ago. I think it's time we reevaluate the shopping cart. So you know what? I'm actually kind of in line with this guy now.
Yeah. Eric, thanks for showing us some clarity, some reason.
We're bringing attention to a real issue. This is righteous anger here at the shop.
It is. Yeah. We appreciate it. Next up, we have Glimpus, which is a great name. I don't know what Glimpus.
Like the name of a cat who can't think.
I don't know. I love it. I gotta show. I gotta show you. Let's see if you can you see their avatar, their profile picture. I want to show it to you. Let's see.
I don't know. Hold it up to the camera, or you gonna screenshot it? And I don't know what. Oh yeah, what is that little?
That's Glimpus. That is like Glimpus.
Some weird little fucking like alien cartoon character or something. Yeah,
it's like an alien dog or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's fucking Glimpus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Anyways, Glimpus says, "It's weird. This is arguably Green Day's least catchy album, and I get it stuck in my head all the time." Now, I brought this up because I wanted to get your thoughts on, is Insomniac Green Day's least catchy album? What do you think?
Man. Well, out of the albums we've discussed so far, yes, definitely. And then thinking ahead, I mean, I think there's a really strong argument to be made there. I do. I don't know. You know what, though? You know what album I feel like I might have as a contender? I don't know if this is going to be a weird one or not, but
yeah,
I feel like Rev Rad is also kind of in the conversation of like a not catchy Green Day record. There's kind of like a lot of long, stretched out kind of. It's not as hooky, like they're trying to do something very different on that. So
yeah, no, that's a good point. The only thing is like, it does have an earworm, like the title track, Revolution Radio, is extremely catchy.
And Youngblood's catchy. I mean, there's
Youngblood's
catchy songs
catchy.
on Rev Rad.
There are, but but the ratio is lower than the average Green Day record. So that might be
Yeah.
number 2 behind Insomniac.
And there's catchy songs on Insomniac, is what
Well,
I'm
that's the
saying.
thing. I was gonna say, like, undoubtedly there are, and Connor, it would be like Green Day would have to work very hard to write a non-catchy album. Like,
Mhm.
they just can't. I don't think they can do that. That's not in their DNA. So,
Yeah.
um, Insomniac may be the least catchy of the bunch, but I mean, it's still quite catchy. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of bands would kill to have hooks like hooks on fucking now I can't think of any songs at all.
I don't know. I feel like Walking
But
Contradiction's a
Geek
catchy
Stink Breath,
song.
Walking Contradiction.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, even Babs Uvula Who, like, some bands would fucking kill. Like, it's just, that's just, Green Day is a hook writing machine. They step back a little bit. I think they're intentionally here being a little bit more uh less inviting. And that's
Yeah.
okay, but still catchy.
I do think that this person's right, though. It's like this, it's not something I think about, but yeah, this is, if not the least catchy, it's in the conversation. Like, there's something to be said about
Yeah,
this as a lesser catchy Green Day record. I agree.
I think so. Next up we have Jim 539871 from 5 years ago. Jim says, "Hate to admit it, but this song totally reminds me of when I used to do meth. I'm recovered now, but yeah."
Mm.
Connor, I think every song on this album we will get a comment about meth.
Yeah. And you know, it's always weird on the internet because it's like, I don't know. I don't want to doubt anyone's lived experience. This could very well be a legitimate and genuine comment coming from a recovered meth addict. But it does feel like, because Insomniac is so often kind of like discussed as and labeled like the meth album.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, you know, is that what that song makes you think of? Or is it just because like this is the meth? You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just sitting here on my fucking high horse in my chair in my air conditioned room. You know, what do I know? We already said I don't know nothing about meth. What do I know? But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I did meth, then I would agree with this guy. I'd be like, yeah, this song is like meth. I don't know, but
well, we'll try it together by the.
It feels a little convenient, you know. It feels a little
Yeah.
convenient.
It does. I mean, I think chances are very high that this is like a little kid who's commenting on YouTube and like learn Green Day's lore and history with drug use, and is just kind of trying to sound cool. I think that's very common. It's also maybe a guy who did meth once, who's like is like making that his personality on YouTube. But
I can't wait for us to be those guys.
Yeah, I mean it's coming. After we try it at the end of this album discussion, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Old Witch 26 says, "I feel like the song is about me, or about what I've become in the past 24 years since I bought it as a kid. Fuck. I think I need some help."
Yeah, probably because they've turned into a witch.
An old witch.
Yeah.
Even worse.
So, yeah, I don't know. You're not going to get help on YouTube. If you do need help,
absolutely not.
Get it somewhere else.
Wrong place.
Not the place. Yeah, it's not the place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you do need help, I hope you get it. I hope you've got
absolutely.
It. But commenting on YouTube, no one's coming to save you. You know.
Unfortunately, not. No, and they might actually do more harm. In fact, Lozif Jibby 5832 from 4 years ago. Lozif says, "This song is about wind-up toys."
These comments, I like this genre of comment where it's someone who just says this song is about, and then it's something that the song is not about. That's really fun. Every now and then we get one of those.
I know, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's funny.
All right, got a couple left here. The Funk Phenomena 2828 says, sad to say, this is the anthem of an angry spirit. And even more sad that it's my theme song.
A lot of people connecting with the anger in this song,
Yeah.
This is it's like this is sort of like a congregation for people to kind of reflect on and commiserate a little bit over their anger issues. That's kind of interesting.
It is. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. It is like, though, it would be a healthy thing to talk about and discuss on any other platform. Not any other platform, but on a lot of other platforms. But YouTube comments, it's like, I hope you're discussing this with somebody else somewhere else that's healthier. But anyways, okay. Longview GD 182 from 13 years ago says, this song screams methamphetamine, especially the bridge after the second chorus. It just goes insane with energy. It's the meth rush turned into song. That meth rush.
Yeah.
We all know about.
I mean, we obviously talked a lot about how the playing is very reflective of like the anger that we identified in the song, and there's a whole other crowd of people who were like, no, that's the meth.
It's the meth talking. The meth is talking in this one.
Again, it's like I'm a little out of my depth. I'm a little out of my meth.
You're a little out of your meth.
Who's this? What if they're right? What if?
I mean, they could be right. Yeah.
But again, I just don't think that Insomniac is the meth album either.
I can't trust YouTube comments. I can't trust that any of these people are telling the truth. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you shouldn't. You should assume that everyone is lying on this comment section. Yeah.
Unfortunate. Okay, two left. Here we go. D Loione 1832 says, Green Day made a song about every type of person. Do you think that's true?
Are they saying that this song embodies every type of person, or they're saying like for every type of person there is a Green Day song?
I think for every type of person there is a Green Day song. This is obviously about like a meth person.
Right, yeah. Yeah, obviously. Obviously. And nothing else.
No, nothing else.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like kind of hard to say. It's like, have they made a song about every person? I don't know if anyone can say that, but I believe that there's a Green Day song for everyone. There's a Green Day song that you can get someone to feel like they connect to. Yeah.
I think that much is very true, Connor. I agree with that. All right. Finally, we have Rocket Sauce 420, which is another great username. Rocket Sauce. From 4 years ago, they say, I play the fiddle and I'm all wound up. Is that the real lyrics?
I love the sincerity to this question.
Yeah, I know.
And also, it's like with this, like they could have just taken this exact comment but put it into a search bar instead.
Yes.
Of a comment.
Just search Babs Uvula Who lyrics.
Yeah. Anyways, the answer is yes, and it's because the fiddle has commonly and historically been associated with methamphetamine.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. The devil went down to Georgia. What do you guys think that song's about? That's not actually about the devil coming to Georgia. Like, it's about a meth dealer.
That's right.
To Georgia. Like, are you kidding me?
Open your eyes.
Are you guys that naive? Come on. All right, Connor. That's it for the comments. Who the heck wins comment of the day?
It's always weird when this happens. I think this was a pretty good set. There's a few different comments that I could cast my vote towards. But in my eyes, no one beat the very first one. It was like, this is what angry.
This is how it is like to feel angry.
This is how it is like to feel angry. I don't know. I love that. I love that. This is how it is like to feel angry. I couldn't agree more.
That's just well said, well
It's
written.
not about meth. They didn't say this is how it is like to feel meth or whatever. It's like this is how it is like to feel angry. I agree.
Simplifying the concept down to its core, I think, very effectively. Congratulations, Yep McYepington. Yep, you win. Please hit us up however you want to claim your prize. Of course, we will reward you handsomely. I just want to show you this guy's avatar too, because it feels like the perfect avatar for Yep McYepington.
Yeah.
It's like
what is the sunglasses and a top hat?
It's a sun. It's the sun in sunglasses and a top hat. Yeah.
Yes, I see it.
It's pretty cool. I think it's perfect for him. Congratulations, Connor. Any final thoughts on the episode or anything we covered before we wrap it up?
Yeah, talking about Insomniac has been cool. Going track by track. There's been a handful of songs now where I kind of feel like I don't know where our discussion is going to take us. And I kind of out the gate, I was sort of thinking like, I don't know how much I have to say about a song like Babs Uvula Who, because I haven't like historically had a whole lot of love for it, and I don't feel like in terms of like its depth, I was like, I'm not sure what there is to say, but there's a lot to be said about the performances here and like the interplay between Billy, Mike, and Trey, and how they're all able to really translate this disgusting building anger, and that's an important song to have on an album like Insomniac, even if it's not anywhere close to being my favorite. It's like this song needs to be on the album. It's like how else are people gonna know that this record is either about meth or being very angry?
Or like angry on meth or angry about meth, or
you need a song like this. So it was cool.
Yeah, agreed. I thought we had a good discussion about it. Was illuminating, and it just made me realize like how much it. I don't know, like it's like how thematically coherent this record is. It's like it's impressive actually. All right, folks, thank you for listening. Next week we'll be discussing 86. We are going back into the Numberverse.
Ooh, that's right.
Very exciting. I'm extremely excited for that. I fucking love that song. So look forward to that next week. And in the meantime, if you want to head over to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star rating and a glowing review, that would be amazing. Spotify podcasts too. I think you can give us a rating. They don't do reviews though. I don't think. I think just ratings on Spotify. And you can follow us on anti-social media at Green Dudes Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. More active on Instagram, but Twitter is fine too. And until next time, folks, as always,
stay
pumped. All right, Green Dudes out. Stream over.